Welcome back to another episode of My Cemetery Tours with the Graveyard Guy. And I'm your host and local paranormal investigator, Mark Lynn. And today we're at Munson Village, which is in the towns of Amherst, Milford, and Hollis, New Hampshire. This colonial village was around for 30-40 years between the 1750s to the 1790s, and it is now protected by the Society for the Protection of New Hampshire Forests. Let's go check it out. And I just passed some nice people walking their dog. I let them know what I was doing here, that I was filming for my brand new online paranormal show. And I was going to try to not get them in the video, because I know some people don't want to be on video or they don't like their picture taken. But I said if I do, I'll try to make sure you don't get on. But they were very nice, and they said, well, if you catch up to us and we get in your video a little bit, that's fine with us. We're all right with it. So kind of cool. I'm trying to get it while there's still light. I'm here at 5:30, kind of later in the day, and the forest is dark, but I still got a little bit of light out here. So, and this, my Kodak digital camera does a really good job, considering it's like 5 to 10 years old, on picking up the light whenever it can. But I'm originally born and raised in California. I live out here in Milford, New Hampshire now, and this is such a beautiful rolling green pasture with the granite rock walls of New Hampshire, and also you'll see these in the New England area to mark property, and I just love that. This is so cool. Yeah, there's another one out here with a couple of people with a couple of dogs there. But again, this is Munson Village, an old colonial village, and it was in the 18th century, from like the 1750s to the 1790s. For about 30 to 40 years it existed before it went away. And there's some people that don't know why it went away, like what happened, where did they go. And I talked to a gentleman, Matt, from Concord, New Hampshire. He's called me the last couple of days to leave some messages to answer my questions on Munson Village, and he gave me a real informative message, and I talked to him today, and it was a really great informative conversation. And I think he actually visited here, because he told me some personal things that nobody would know unless you actually visited the place. But yeah, I love these rock walls. You can tell today it looks like it's gonna rain. It's getting dark. I'm burning daylight. I can only do this for so long because we're still in summer, but we're like a week away from fall, and it seems like we're getting dark at like 7 p.m. or before, and then now it doesn't get light in the morning till like 7 a.m. so shorter days. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm trying to pick up on a little chipmunk. A lot of the chipmunks and squirrels, I notice nowadays, are starting to gather their food. Winter will be here soon. I love these fields out here, and the classic New Hampshire or New England granite walls to mark the property. I love that. Can you imagine how much work it took to make all these granite rock walls? But this is such a beautiful place for a hike. So if you're ever in this area, and the thing I want to note is Matt told me the actual location for this place is Hollis, New Hampshire, and I do believe him. But when I googled Munson Village, it listed as Milford, New Hampshire. Now when you come down Federal Hill Road, you got to really look for a small parking space that can only fit about 5 cars. I happened to see people walking their dogs and said, hey, is this the parking lot of Munson Village? It wasn't too well marked, and I almost got lost on this trail coming back here. And I do believe there is a cemetery, so I'm going to answer that question from Matt, who I was talking to up in Concord, New Hampshire. I asked him if there's a cemetery here, and he said he didn't know. And like I said, he was telling me personal things about this place, so I think he's been here. Very informative. Yeah, I think he's part of he's like a director, managing director for the Society for the Protection or Preservation of New Hampshire Forests. And the guy was really, really nice. And I just posted a Spirited Paranormal episode on SoundCloud at soundcloud.com, a short one with the message and conversation we had. If you want to check it out, it's very, very informative if you ever want to come to Munson Village. Oh, I can hear a rumble of thunder. Check that out. If there's any lightning, man, I'm running for it.
Hey, Nolan, no. What are you doing? Come on, I'm waiting on you.
I see some leaves out there on the tree, a little bit yellow. I saw one the other day, one of the filming locations we were at, where one of the leaves was actually red, so they are starting to change a little bit. Oh look, a little chipmunk with something in its mouth. He's watching me. Like I said, all these chipmunks and the squirrels, they're already starting to gather food for winter. There's more people out visiting than I thought there would be. Because like I said, I'm here like between like 5 and 7 p.m. and that's towards closing time. This place is open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. from dawn to dusk during daylight hours, so I'm towards the end, just before closing time. Yeah, I want to check out this sign. It's like a little small garden in here. This is pretty cool. You can pick that up on the video. Jerry's Garden with a cross on top. That's cool. And it's a small little garden, but it's really nice. Nice little flower here. Wow. But we are coming upon here the Gould House. Now, Matt was telling me if you come here on a Saturday or a Sunday and like middle of the day, like let's say maybe 12 to 3 p.m. in the afternoon on a Saturday or a Sunday, there's either Russ or Jerry is in here volunteering their time. I think they gave money to save this place so it wouldn't be developed and torn down, so people could have Munson Village where they could hike and walk to. But this is the Gould House, so if you ever come here on a Saturday or Sunday, Russ or Jerry might be in here, and if the door is open, you can talk to them about Munson Village. And Matt told me that Russ, he actually has ancestors that are related to him that are buried here at Munson Village. But this is the Gould House, and if it's ever open, you can go in there, and it's like a mini museum. And again, if you talk to Russ or Jerry, they know all about Munson Village. That's a really neat house, very old and historic. Alright, what I'm searching for, look at these people out here. It's like a professional photographer. There's like a family out here, and the lady was just flashing pictures. That's cool. Like I said, I'm surprised there's this many people out here between 5 to 7 p.m. at night towards the closing hours, because you know, daylight's burning and it's getting dark. Yeah, I'm in search of a cemetery. See if we can find one. One other thing around here too is you see a lot of this granite. If you go back in the forest, like when I showed you earlier on that green pasture, if you go back there in the forest where I saw the two ladies going to walk their dog, back in that forest they have cellar holes where houses used to be. So like right here you can tell this right here is a cellar hole where a building once stood. It used to be in this area where you now see grass. Yeah, I gotta watch out. Check the sky out, man. That's stormy. So you can see cellar holes in the forest. Like when I showed a little while ago the family getting a picture done, beyond them is the woods, and that's where the trails are for Munson Village big time, where again they have different signs and they'll tell you like the different cellar holes to the different houses. Like Matt was telling me that they'll have one of an actual clockmaker's house. And I said to him, I collect mechanical automatic watches as well as mechanical wind-up antique pocket watches. And he's like, that's cool. And he goes, yeah, there's signs back there. They show you where the clockmaker's house was, where the cobbler or the guy that made shoes was, and all different people. And I imagine too, with these green rolling hills, there was a lot of farming back here with like cows, sheep. I don't know if they grew any corn or apples or pumpkins or stuff like that. But there, I imagine with all those green pastures, they did a lot of farming. But yeah, I'm looking for a cemetery or a graveyard, but I don't know if I'll be able to find one. I'm only going to come back here so far because it's getting dark, and I like back where I was because it's a little bit better light. But I believe there is a graveyard and a cemetery here. I believe there is. I'm just not sure where it is. Because, I mean, you have a place like Munson Village surviving for 30 to 40 years between the 1750s and the 1790s. You're going to have a cemetery here. Because in that time, in 30 to 40 years, there are going to be people that die and pass away. So there has to be a cemetery around here somewhere. And I don't know why. I thought there was one close to the house, but maybe not. But come with me as we visit Munson Village. If you can't be here right now, you're here with me right now. Let's do it. Let's see if we can find a cemetery. The thing I wanted to mention too is I've gotten information before that years ago, maybe 20 years ago, when they were clearing out this area to get ready to open to the public for Munson Village, they had high school and college students volunteer their time to clean out the cellar holes and the different trails. Well, when some of them lifted up rocks, like little small, like baby rattlesnakes came out of there. And later on, they either asked Russ or Jerry, like, what are those little garter snakes? And he grabbed their hand and pulled them away, and he said, no, those are little baby rattlesnakes. They're actually not baby rattlesnakes, but here in New Hampshire, some of them are small like that. So I don't want to step on any snakes. And the other thing I was going to say too is, some people say that Munson Village is a historical and haunted site of this old colonial village. People have taken multiple pictures online. People have taken multiple pictures here at Munson Village and posted them online of spirit orbs in the forest where the cellar holes are. Yeah, I'm coming upon a field here. Took me a little while to hike. It still goes straight ahead. I mean, this is a big place. I don't know how many acres it is. It's big. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I almost thought up here was going to be something like in the open hills, like maybe a little cemetery. I don't know. Oh, this person's going the other way. Run, run. Yeah, I don't want to get anybody on camera that doesn't want to be on camera, of course, but yeah, I'll have to find out. I might go back the other way and ask. Because I thought for sure there's a cemetery or a graveyard here. And like I said, this place was a colonial village from the 1750s to the 1790s. Like for 30 to 40 years, you're going to have people die and pass away here. So they have to have, that's nice. I don't know how much you can pick it up because it's getting dark back here. If you can take a look, I mean, look at that water. So nice and clear. Nice little waterfall there. Yeah, we've had a lot of rain this year. And what I might do is I might not walk back. I'm going to walk back the way I came in, but I might not film all that. I might do like a part 2 to this video because this place is big. Yeah, so if I end the video here, I'm going to come back with a part 2. This might be one of the first few episodes with this episode 5 of part 1 and a part 2. Yeah, because I might stop filming here because I don't want to go back forever. And I might ask somebody, is there a cemetery graveyard here? Because I believe there is. That's why I'm filming here today. There has to be. Yeah, because if you have a town that's like 30, 40 years, I mean, people are going to die. They're going to pass away. And back in those days, in the 18th century, the 1700s, this was in the boonies. I mean, this colonial town, Munson Village, of 100 people, this was it. So whatever you needed, like a doctor or something, or you died, you were buried back here where you fell. But yeah, I don't know how far back this goes, so I think I'm going to stop the video here and come back in a part 2. But again, welcome to another episode of my cemetery tours with the Graveyard Guy. And this is your host and local paranormal investigator, Mark Lenz, saying thank you for coming with me on this haunted journey to Munson Village in the Amherst, Milford, and Hollis, New Hampshire area. We are going to be back in a little while with a part 2 of this episode, first time ever with this brand new online paranormal show. And I'm going to try to find the cemetery and graveyard here because I believe there is one. So I will be back in a few. Stay tuned for part 2 coming up soon.